For some people, music is a great escape, a way to drown out thoughts and surround themselves with something beautiful. For others, creating music can bring a composer more joy than most can understand. Music is a passion of many, and for some people, like Mark Howler, music is a way of life and a growing future.
So my freshman year of college, my cousin got divorced from her husband, and she had been using her sister-in-law to work as her assistant DJing professional rodeo. Since the divorce, that was no longer an option, and she was desperate for a new person to work with, so she gave me a call. I was a freshman in college, and she was going to see if she could train me to work and when she was double booked for rodeos during the summer. I tried it out. I went to some pro rodeos. I learned how to set up audio systems for arenas, kind of the ins and outs of what DJing a live event was all about. A very different style than what I do now for the majority of my time, but it definitely introduced me to picking music for crowds and performing and audio just technology. And I was thrown into it very quickly. I had about 3 weeks to learn all of it, and then I was doing shows by myself. So it was very stressful at first, but I kind of took to it and I really enjoyed it. Now I'm working more towards producing electronic dance music, or not necessarily dance music, but just electronic music. And I'm looking forward to being a producer in the future. My name's Mark Howler. My alias is Apolleo, or DJ Apolleo. I started really getting into DJing at the fraternity and doing that for parties and live events outside of rodeo in a more party kind of dance setting. When I'm DJing, the biggest thing I had to learn was paying attention to what's going on in the environment around you. And that was the biggest thing I gained from DJing rodeos. I'm paying attention to an announcer, a clown, and what they're saying. I have to play off of them constantly. I have to pay attention to the events and be very on cue all the time and on point. And that's one of the things that separates someone that's just okay at basically DJing an event and that's very good at it, is they're very timely and on cue. That definitely helped me later when I started doing more party events and lounges, because I would pay attention to the crowd a lot more. And if I would see how they were responding to a song, and I would know how certain crowds would respond to certain types of music. And as I learned that over time, I was able to kind of get a flow to the event and get people to react in the way that I wanted them to. That was probably the fundamental thing. And then from then on, it's just been adding more music and getting more technical, because I've gotten more and more serious about it, and I've tried to add more tricks, and I've expanded the equipment I use constantly. My favorite part about DJing is definitely the creativity side of it. The song I'm working on right now with my buddy Derek Chesick in Reno, it's a little collab project we're doing, but actually most of our work is probably going to be collab. It's called Jungle Princess, and it's kind of an interesting track. It's got Tarzan vocal samples and heavy percussion beats, but it's also very EDM and bass heavy wobbles, all that good stuff. This is Ableton. This is a program that I mostly use to produce, and I mean, the song's laid out, time left to right. All the different parts are separated in tracks.
Mark has decided to take his love of music to the next level by learning how to produce his own tracks.
Kind of obsessed with music more than anything. That's part of why now I'm starting to actually focus less on the DJing side at the moment, and I've been trying to get into production because I really like the creativity. I've been trying to learn music and the theory behind it, and I'm currently working on my first EP. Right now, I'm kind of been trying to carve out my own style and figure out what I want to sound like, and I really don't want to copy what else is out there. I've been trying to do something unique that's me, and I think that's what's really important about being an artist, is you push out an idea that you believe leave it and not just make something else and tweak it, because there's no real originality in that, I guess. So I've come a long ways. Like literally 2 years ago, I didn't know how to run a music production program at all or anything about music theory, and I've got reasonably, in my opinion, songs that are they're getting somewhere. Next year, after I graduate, I'm going to try and go to a music production DJ school in London, I think called Point Blank, and get a degree in that and try and really get professional about what I'm doing. My next step is I'm going to try and, since I've been going to college, I haven't really been able to focus on it full time. But when I graduate, I'm definitely going to try and go to like a professional school for it. In the meantime, I'm probably going to be like DJing rodeos still during the summer. I'll make a bunch of money doing that. I can DJ small venues, bars, lounges, stuff like that. I mean, I've done and can do stuff like that in the meantime. So it's just a matter of practice, and the more I spend time on it, the better I'll get, and more opportunities will open up, hopefully. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Okay. So
Like a insidious thing. It's taken over my life slowly. But eventually, where am I going with this? Can we start over?
yeah,
or something?
we can start
I just need to think about what I was going to say.
Any bad things.
I just